Hello dear children, in today's video we are going to discuss our ninth standard syllabus, the first chapter, the best advice I ever had, which is written by Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit. In this lesson we are going to discuss about an advice that have given by Mahatma Gandhi to Ms. Vijayalakshmi Pandit when she was in the sorrow of the loss of her or death of her husband, and she has no rights. Like at that time there was some rules in our areas. If the husband dies, then the wife, the woman, won't be having any rights on the family property, or they won't get any share and all. So on all these problems, while she was struggling a lot to survive, and she was in big angry, she was in very much angry with her family. At that time Mahatma Gandhi had given some advices to her. He talked with her in the form of an advice, and that advice have changed her life completely, even after like many years also. About that advice she is writing in this article. This lesson is an article written by Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit, one of the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's sisters. So Ms. Vijayalakshmi Pandit is one of the sisters of Jawaharlal Nehru, and she wrote this for Reader's Digest when she was the High Commissioner of India in the United Kingdom. When she was the High Commissioner of India in United Kingdom, at that time this article she was written in Reader's Digest, a monthly magazine. So this is the basic or theme of the this theme of this lesson. So now let us discuss. Let's read the lesson and let's discuss. The best advice I ever had came from one of the greatest souls the world has ever known, Mahatma Gandhi, on a sunny afternoon a decade ago. Most people pass through a period of anguish when their belief in humanity is at a low ebb. I was in such a period. My husband had recently died. My deep sorrow over his loss was followed by the humiliating realization that in the eyes of Indian law, I had no individual existence. Along with other Indian women, I had participated for years with men in the national struggle for freedom, working and suffering side by side with them until it had finally been achieved. Yet in law, we women were still recognized only through our relationship to men. So, Miss Vijayalakshmi Pandit is saying that the best advice I have ever received from one of the greatest souls of world called Mahatma Gandhi on a sunny afternoon a decade ago. So she is writing about this about an incident which had happened a decade ago, 10 years ago, one incident that had happened to her, an advice which was given by Mahatma Gandhi to her. So she is writing about that advice. So 10 years ago, once while her husband died recently, at that time she was in full of sorrow that she has no rights on her family property. Also she has two daughters, she has no son, she has two daughters. With the two daughters she was unable to survive in that place because her husband died. She is already in a deep sadness at that time. Even the family also humiliating in that situation, like the family is not at all showing any kindness to her. The law says that she has no rights on the family property. So which means in the eyes of Indian law she has no individual existence. She is saying that she also, along with many Indian women, she also participated in the freedom fight for many years until our country achieved the freedom. Even she also participated with many girls, she also participated in the freedom fight. But when it comes to these things, the women were still recognized only through our relationship. For example, like his son, his husband, his wife, otherwise his daughter, or these things only. His daughter, his wife, his sister. This women have no self individuality. They have no self existence. They only should known through the relationship of men. What is the relationship of with the men? What is their relationship with men? Through that only they should recognized by others. So like this one law was there in our country some years ago. So she was completely totally against this law, and because she struggled because of this law, she got too much problems. She got so many problems also with this law. Now, as a widow without a son, I was not entitled to any share of the family property, nor were my two daughters. I resented this galling position. I was bitter towards those members of my family who supported this antiquated law. So, she became a widow. She has no son. She has two daughters only. She has no son. And because of the death of her husband, she has no rights on the family property also. She was completely against this law, and she was angry on even her family also, because in her family also most of the members were supporting the same law. At least her family could go and speak to others, but even her family also was supporting the same law. So she was in angry with her family also, because they also were supporting this antiquated law. At this time, I went to pay my respects to Gandhiji and say goodbye before leaving for America to take part in a conference. After our talk, he asked, "Have you made your peace with the relatives?" I was amazed that he would take sides against me. "I have not quarreled with anyone," I replied, "but I refuse to have anything to do with those who take advantage of an outward law to create a difficult and humiliating situation for me." So at that time, she already decided that she is going to America. She planned to go to America with her daughters, because already she has nothing there. Her husband also died. She has no family property at all there. Then there is no need to stay there. So she decided to go to America. So before she leaves, she went to pay her respect to Gandhiji. She went to visit Gandhiji to say goodbye before leaving to America. So while she went to visit Gandhiji, after a small talk, Gandhiji asked her, "Have you made your peace with your relatives? Did you finish your quarrels and did you finish your problems? Did you solve your problems with your relatives?" Gandhiji asked her. She was like totally shocked when Mahatma Gandhi asked that. Mahatma Gandhi is taking her side in that. She was surprised, and she told him, "I have not quarreled with anyone. I am not going to fight with them. I have not fought with anyone, but I don't like to do anything with them, because they are taking advantage of this outward law to create a difficult for me. By taking support of this law, they are making problems for me. They are creating a difficult, humiliating situation for me. With those people, I am not going to fight, but I don't want to do anything with them. I don't like to do anything with them." Vijayalakshmi Pandit told to Gandhiji. Gandhiji looked out of the window for a moment. Then he turned to me and smiled and said, "You will go and say goodbye, because courtesy and decency demand this. In India, we still attach importance to these things." "No," I declared, "not even to please you will I go to those wish to harm me." So when she told she doesn't like to do anything with them, that time Mahatma Gandhi looked at her face and he told, "You should go and you should say goodbye, because in our country we give importance for courtesy and decency more than anything. We are living in India, we have some traditions, we have some culture. So by standing in this country, by standing on this culture, we should go even to our enemies also. Maybe you don't like them, but there is a courtesy that you have towards them. There is a decency that you want to show towards them. So based on that decency, you should go and you should say a goodbye to them." But she didn't like Gandhiji's advice. She told, "No, I will not go, even to please you also, even to make you happy also, I will not go to say them, because they are wishing to harm me. So to those people I will never go and I will say, no, no one can harm you except yourself," he said, still smiling. "I see enough bitterness in your heart to cause you injury unless you check it." But Gandhiji told him, "You are saying that they are wishing to harm you, but according to me, no one can harm you except yourself. If anyone is harming you, that is you only. You are harming yourself, because you are keeping all this bitterness in your heart, that is making more injury on you. No one is harming you, you are only keep no one is harming you, you are only keeping these injuries in your mind. You're only keeping this bitterness, this sadness, this negative thoughts, that you are only keeping in your heart, and you are only harming yourself, no one else. No others can harm you except yourself." I remained silent, and he continued, "You are going to a new country because you are unhappy and want to escape. Can you escape from yourself? Will you find happiness outside when there is bitterness in your heart? Think it over. Be a little humble. You have lost a loved one. That is sorrow enough. Must you inflict further injury on yourself because you lack courage to cleanse your own heart? Again, she didn't say anything. She kept quiet. She was silent. Again, he continued, "You're going to a new country. Okay, because now from India, you are going to America. That's nice. But actually, think once again, what are you doing now? You are going to another country to escape from your this unhappiness. To escape from this unhappiness, you are going to another country because you want to escape from your situations. Can you escape from yourself? Even you are going from India to America, you can only escape from the situation. You can never escape from yourself. You can never find happiness outside when there is bitterness inside your heart. When you have sadness in yourself, at that time you cannot find happiness outside anywhere. Wherever you go, if there is bitterness in yourself, you cannot find happiness outside. Think it over. Be a little humble. You don't think in it. Once again, you think. You don't think any negative sides. Think once again. Think it over. Be a little humble. Go and say a goodbye to them. Go and solve your issues with your relatives because you lost your loved one. That sorrow, that sadness is enough for you. You are in deep sorrow. You already lost your loved one. That is enough. So again you don't give further injuries to yourself because you have lack of courage to cleanse your own heart. Don't show this lack of courage. You should show your courage. You should show your dare to go and say goodbye to them. Then by doing this, cleanse your heart, clean your heart, and go to another place. Mahatma Gandhi told to her. His words would not leave me. They gave me no peace. After some days of severe struggle with myself, I finally telephoned to my brother-in-law. "I would like to see you and the family," I said before leaving. After their talk, she went back to her home. But the words of Mahatma Gandhi was not leaving her. She said his words would not leave me. What Mahatma Gandhi told, that was fixed in her mind. It was not leaving her. That words did not give peace to her mind. So many days she was in a struggle. She was thinking about the same thing. At last, like a long days of thought, she called her brother-in-law and she told him, "I would like to see you and the family before I'm leaving." So she told, "I'm leaving to America. Before I'm leaving, I wish to see you and your family." She told it to her brother-in-law. I hadn't been with them 5 minutes before I sensed that my visit had brought a feeling of relief to everyone. I told them of my plans and asked for their good wishes before starting on this new stage of my life. The effect on me was miraculous. I felt as if a great burden had been lifted and I was free to be myself. So, after speaking, she went to visit them, she went to see them, she went and saw them, and after that, the change what had happened in her was miraculous, like a magical effect. Magical change had happened in her. She is saying that a great burden lifted from me. I felt like so much relaxed after speaking to them. She went and told her new plans in her life, and she asked their blessings and best wishes. And after speaking with them, after visiting them, she felt a big burden had gone away from her mind. She felt so free and relaxed after meeting them. This small gesture was the beginning of a significant change in me. A year and a half later, I was in New York as a leader of the Indian delegation to the United Nations. Important to us was India's complaint regarding the treatment of people in India of Indian origin in South Africa. Harsh things were said by both sides. I resented the manner in which my opponents made personal attacks harmful to India's prestige and to mine. I struck back with the same sharp weapon. So, according to Vijayalakshmi Pandit, the change what had happened in her by listening the advice of Gandhiji was just a small, that was a beginning only. Because after listening the advice, after she is going and talking to her family, her complete life, her thoughts, everything had changed. This small one action, this small one gesture was a beginning of a significant change in her life. After 1.5 years, at that time she was in New York as the leader of Indian delegation in the United Nations. At that time, they were talking about the treatment of people of Indian origin in South Africa. In South Africa, Indians were treating badly. So, for them, for especially for her, Indians side or taking support for India was important. At that time, both people, they are talking each other about this conflicts. At that time, this opponents who are talking supporting the South Africa, talking about supporting the South Africa, they were talking like personally, they're attacking by using very like bad language, pointing personally towards Indians and to Vijayalakshmi Pandit. Like they were talking in a harsh, rough language. Even she also was not so quiet. How they talked, in the same way she also replied to them back. I struck back with the same sharp weapons. How they talked in the same manner, she also talked to them. Then, after a distressing duel of words, I suddenly thought of Gandhiji. Would he approve? To him, means were as important as the end. In the long run, perhaps more important. What if we succeeded in getting our resolution passed by questionable tactics that injured our self respect? So, once she thought, while after this talk, once she thought whether Mahatma Gandhi will like this attitude or not. According to Gandhiji, means were as important as the end. Our way, how we deal a thing, that is as important as the end also. So maybe according to Gandhiji, this type of attitude will not be acceptable for him. So this injury on our self-respect, that if we pay back to them like in this manner, in the same how they do, in the same manner if we behave, whether Gandhiji will like or not, that was a question arised in Vijayalakshmi Pandit's mind. Before going to bed that night, I resolved that, come what might, no words of mine would be lightly used in the UN. From then on, I lifted the debate back to where it belonged, refusing to retaliate to personal attacks or to score a cheap point. Our opponents met us on the new level, and from then we argued the case on its merit. So, before, while they were arguing each other, both teams were like using some phrases or sentences which is attacking personally. Even they were out of the case by like turning from this case, they went into another level and they are simply arguing on some other topics by attacking like personally. So after thinking this thing, these thoughts, when these thoughts arised in her mind, from the next day her team changed their complete attitude. They started talking on the particular point. So even this new level of thinking, this new change made a little bit changes in the opponent team also. When they are also, they were also like they were also on a surprise by seeing this new level of change in this Indians. Before leaving the committee room on the last day, I went up and spoke to the leader of the opposing delegation. I have come to ask you to forgive me if I have hurt you by any words or action in this debate. So, after finishing the debate, when before she leaving from the room, she went and spoke with her opponent. She went and told her sorry. I ask you to forgive me if I have hurt you by any words or action in this debate. By my words or action, if you felt hurt, please excuse me, forgive me. She went and asked a sorry to them. He shook my hand warmly and said, I have no complaint. She, when she told these things, that man also told by giving a shake hand. That man told warmly, I have no complaint. It's okay, no worries at all. It was good to feel right with him, but even better to feel right with myself. Once more, Gandhiji's advice had served me from myself. So, that it was very good. What I have told him, that gave him a good feel, and what he told me, that gave me a good feel. So when I went and when according to Vijayalakshmi Pandit, when she went and told sorry to that man, he felt very good. That was a that made a great feel in his mind, and even better for me also. More than him, I felt so better because that Gandhiji's advice was in my mind. So that advice again saved me from like from myself. I was not feeling any like regrets after saying the sorry to that man. My mind completely became relaxed. So once again, Gandhiji's words saved Vijayalakshmi Pandit from those bad thoughts or emotions and all. So that's all for today. In the next video, we will continue this chapter. I hope you understood today's session. Thank you. Take care. Bye.